Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. We are from Group B, and we want to present our discussion about syllable. But before we start, we want to introduce our group member. So the first one is me, Meisya, Putri, Anandita. The second one is Tharra, Azkia, Darmawan. And the last one is Bunga, Melssa, Maurelia. And here are the content that we want to present today. A syllable is one of the three major units: syllable, segment, and features of analysis of the existence of patterns in language. A syllable is a unit of linguistic structure that consists of syllabic elements, usually a vowel, and any segment that are associated with it. Segment in this diagram represent by the word level or WD. The symbol of sigma is from a Greek letter, and each syllable is made up of a number of segments. Then each segment is composed of features. Internal structure of a syllable. Sigma are divided into two. There are onset, which is an initial consonant of word. Rhyme is also divided into two. There are nucleus, which is a vowel in a word, and coda is the final consonant or the consonant after a vowel. For example, in the word cat, the sound is the onset or the first consonant in the word, and E is a nucleus or vowel, and T is the coda or the final consonant. Some English onset. In English has some onset, there are two or even three initial consonants or in one word. Based on this table words that has three onset are dominated by a word that start with, and the following consonant are dominated with the voiceless top consonant and then liquid or glide sound. Syllabification. Syllabification is the process of breaking up words into syllables. The dot marks syllable division informally. Setting up syllables. The first step is constructing the nucleus first. The second one, onset, before codas with maximum onset principle or MOP, or fill onset with an acceptable consonant or consonant cluster. Step C, determining the coda, a syllable with a coda or closed syllable. Step D, or the last step, syllable that make up a single form or usually a word branch out from the representation of word level or the WD. This step is frequently omitted from phonological representation to save space. This complete representation is understood or even when the word level is not written out. Syllabification rules. First one is maximal onset principle. Suggests that consonants that are intervocalic are maximally assigned to the onset, so long as they conform with the universal and language-specific condition or CVTIR and its types. The second one is phonetics constraint, the rule that tells what consonant sequences are allowed. Every language has its own set of rules. For example, in English, the longest onset can behave is an onset that is made up of plus consonant plus yah, wah, or next slide will be presented by Tharra.
Okay, thank you. Next, let's get into the CV tier. The definition. CV tier is the majority of current theoretical phonology work adopts a model with a CV tier or consonant vowel tier in which the standard forms or morphemes are described. And then the syllable inventories. Every language has different syllable inventories. In English, there are several syllable forms in the CV tier based on sigma. For example, V, CV, CCV, VC, CVC, CCVC, CVCC, VCC, CCVCC, CVCCC, etc. C as consonant and V as vowels. Here are the implementation. From the word American, it has 4 syllables and also it contains 4 vowels as the nucleus and then 3 consonants as the onset and then 1 consonant as the coda. And then from the words conscript, it has 2 syllables and then it also contains 2 vowels as nucleus and then 4 consonants as onset and then 3 consonants as coda. Okay, the last example is from the word extra. It has 2 syllables and then it also contains 2 nucleus and then 3 onsets and 1 coda. Next slide, please. Now, the examples of syllables. First is monosyllabic. It consists of 1 syllable. We can see from the example from the word day. And then dissyllabic, it consists of 2 syllables. We can see from the example from the word raptor. Next slide, please. And then the open syllable or 3 syllable is a coded syllable of the form V, CV, CCV, and etc. V is vowel and C is consonant. We can see from the word cow. And then the closed syllable is a syllable that has coda. We can see from the word cake. Next slide, please. And then we got into the functions of the syllable. First, as the basic phonotactic unit, is to regulate the ways in which lower level units from the consonant and vowels of the phonological hierarchy can combine. Phonotactic rules or morpheme structure conditions the rules which reflect speakers' knowledge of what combinations of sounds are allowed in their language. Second is the domain of phonological rules. Syllable structure often plays an important role in conditioning the application of phonological rules internal to a language. Next slide, please. The third is the syllable and the structure of the complex segments. Languages with complex syllable structures allow wider combination of 2 consonants in a position before a vowel, 3 or more consonants in this initial position, and or 2 or more consonants in the place following the vowel. And then the fourth is compensatory lengthening. It's a lengthening of a vowel sound that occurs when the following consonant, usually in the syllable coda, or a vowel in an ejection syllable is lost. And then last is the syllable as the indispensable building block for higher phonological domains. Suprasegmental or higher prosodic phenomena such as stress, nasalization, and quantity or length, the syllables are the phonetic ground on which they can operate. Penultimate syllable is necessary for stress to operate. Next slide, please. Here, the syllable weight. In numerous languages, a factor that determines the The applicability of certain phonological rules is the weight of the rhyme. It could be determined as light syllables and heavy syllable. Essentially, a syllable is light if it contains a non-branching rhyme, and a syllable is heavy if it contains a branching rhyme. In addition, in heavy syllable, the rhyme contains either first, a long vowel or diphthong officially followed by one or more consonants, or two, a short vowel followed by at least one consonant as in pat. In a heavy syllable, the rhyme contains a long vowel or diphthong.
Okay, the next subtopic is aspiration in English. The voiceless stops of English each have an aspirated and an unaspirated 11. Aspirated stops that occurs in syllable initially, we can see in column A as word pen that we pronounce as pen. On the other hand, we can see the unaspirated sounds in column B, like word span. Next slide, please. Okay, the next is ambisyllabicity. Some English words such as upper, happy, and working don't show aspiration where it's expected. This fact is accounted for by assuming that voiceless stop in this form are simultaneously in both syllables. Like three pictures below, ambiguity in English that occur in initial syllabification, we can see at A picture and stress in B picture and B syllabic consonant at picture C. Next slide, please. Okay, the next is phonetic length in vowel. English vowel are shorter before voiceless consonant, before sonorant consonant, and in word final position, they are longer before voiced non-sonorant consonant. Okay. Short vowels before voiced consonant is the distribution is determined by syllable structure, and the first syllable vowels are preceded voiced non-sonorant consonants, but they are short since the voiced consonants are in the following syllable. In order for an English vowel to be long, it must be followed by a voiced obstruent in the same syllable. Or we can say that English vowels are long when followed by a voiced obstruent in the same syllable. Syllable and stress in English. Stress is defined as the perceived prominence of one or more syllables elements over others in a word. Stress combines the phonetic features of loudness, pitch, and duration, like louder, higher in pitch, and longer in time. English non-stress. In some languages, the structure of individual syllables plays a role in determining which vowel is stressed. Like in column A, agenda, and B, aroma, and C, cinema. Types of stress in English. There are two types of stress in English. First is penultimate stress. The primary stress is on the second syllable from last. For example, the suffix like it, and shen, and shen. And the second type is anti-penultimate stress. The primary stress falls on the third syllable from the end of the word, or the third syllable counted from the end is stressed. Next, please. Okay, thank you.
So here are the reference of our presentation. And thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.